Hello. Welcome to the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. Welcome. Listen, I am live on some location. I am not in Jersey. So we're going to get right into this because you know what, my Urbanites? You know I was not originally supposed to come on this week, but new developments with this, Carlethia, Nichole Russell case. So we're going to get right into this. Now, for you all, my Urbanites, you all know every single week I go live, I always do a missing person segment. And this missing person segment is very important to me. It's near and dear to my heart. And also when I do the missing person segment, it's near and dear to my heart because that's the time when people, I have to say, the viewers really start dropping off. I don't care. I will always do the missing person segment. As a mother, as an aunt, as a friend, I'm always thinking, oh my goodness, what if my child were missing? What if my niece, my nephew went missing? How and what would I want someone to do? So that's why I have the missing person. And I started the missing person about 1.5 years ago when a case came through. I can't remember his name. I think his name was Daniel Robinson. He was missing from Phoenix, Arizona. And there was a huge outcry about Black and missing and how at that time, a lot of the mass media did not pick up our story. And I entitled it, I don't know if you all remember, I entitled it The Partygoers versus the Uninvited. And I said that the Black community, we were considered the uninvited, as well as the white community, they were considered the partygoers. And then what happens if you don't get invited to a party? What does that mean? It means a couple of things. One, they didn't know anything about you. 2, they don't care to know anything about you. 3, they just don't want you there. So that's why I considered it the uninvited. So let's talk about this case, the saga of Carlethia Nichole Russell. And I'm going to come from a different perspective. I'm going to come from a different perspective than perhaps most people have come from, because we're going to look at perhaps the why. So let me read this article from the New York Post, because basically she admitted it was a hoax. It was fabricated. She lied. She concocted the entire thing. And I have to tell you, my Urbanites, I knew it. Now, I have to admit, when the story first broke, I was like, oh my gosh, someone used a little baby as some type of, a ploy to get a woman out of the car. Like, I could see that happening because there are a lot of creeps out there that will do something like that, to ambush someone. But then I was like, I don't know. So anyway, I need you all to come on in. I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe to this network, because here is where you're going to get a lot of the information that you may not get from other networks, a different perspective, a different view. So remember July 13th. So let's pull up the video of Mr. Alfonso. I call him Mr. Alfonso. He's on TikTok. I was going to do this, but Mr. Alfonso did it for me. The timeline of events. And let's take a look at this.
The only thing that I can say to Carlee Russell right now is,
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
her boyfriend issued a statement and suggested that she was kidnapped. Her parents were doing interviews and was insinuating that she was kidnapped and said she fought for her life. But the police came today with their evidence and were like,
it was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
So here's a timeline of Carlee Russell's internet search history that was obtained by the Secret Service. On July the 11th, she Googled about Amber Alerts and if it would cost money to do an Amber Alert. On July the 13th, the day of her disappearance, at 1:03 a.m., she Googled how to take money from a register without being caught. At 2:13 a.m., she searched Birmingham bus station. At 2:35 a.m., she Googled one-way ticket from Birmingham to Nashville with the departure of 7:13. That was the day she disappeared. At 12:10 p.m., she looked up the movie Taken. Now, this is what she did leading up to her disappearance. She left work at 8:20 p.m. She took a bathrobe and toilet paper with her and additional stuff. She ordered takeout. She did a Target run and ordered Cheezit and granola bars. She left the Target parking lot at 9:21 p.m. She was on the phone with one of her friends, according to the police. She drove to I-459, then called the police at 9:34 p.m. When the police arrived at the scene of the incident, they found her wig and her phone on the grass. In her car, they found her takeout food, her handbag, and her Apple Watch. The police did not find the snacks from Target. They didn't find the bathrobe and the toilet paper and the other things that she took from her company. The 911 call sounded ridiculous. She said she saw a little boy who was white walking along the highway. Then the story got weirder. She said she saw a man with orange hair came up to her and said he was looking after the little boy or checking on the little boy. Then he grabbed her, threw her over his shoulder, put her in a car. Then she was in an 18-wheeler. I don't get this story at all. Then she said she heard a baby. They blindfolded her. She heard a woman. The woman played with her hair, and they took pictures of her, allegedly. Then she said she escaped. They caught her. Then she escaped again. I'm like, I don't know. She said she ran through the woods until she found her home. I'm like, I don't get what is going on. Based on all the details that the police provided, this is very much given premeditated. So I don't know what her defense is going to be against this. I'm very disappointed that she would do something like this, and I don't know if they're building a case to lock her up. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
All right. So thank you, Alfonso. Yes. All right. So let's break this down. Let's break this down. Now, the reason why I had the Cheezits and the granola bars, because basically that's what she bought. Now, what did you learn about that breakdown, that timeline of events? What did you learn? This is something that we talked about in the Urban Suite over and over and over again. You are always being watched. AI, whatever footprint, your computer, every single thing that you do, you are being recorded. Everything. They confiscated her computer. They knew exactly what she was looking at, so you can tell it was premeditated. They knew exactly where she went. She went to the store. She went to Target. There's a footprint. There's cameras. She stole from her employer. Now she is fired. So we're going to get to the why, in my opinion, why someone would do this. The mindset of someone who would take these desperate measures. Now, she is or was, I don't know, a nursing student. I know I would not feel comfortable with her being my nurse. So as the story started to progress, the parents did an interview. And we're going to look at this interview. And this was, for me, the nail that was in the coffin. This is prior to this article I'm getting ready to read from the New York Post that says that she admits there was no kidnapping. So let me tell you all. Let me tell you all. I need you to understand and realize Big Brother is watching you. So it was so interesting. Last night, my husband and I were walking on this dock, and we were talking about cameras being everywhere. And it was this guy that walked up, and I was looking, I was like, see, there's a camera right there. I said, cameras are everywhere. Cameras are everywhere. Do you know every month I have Android. Every month I get a detailed history of what I did the previous month, what restaurants I went to, what towns I went to, what flights I got on. Everything is in my phone. Everything. I don't even punch up where I'm going. I don't even say, okay, here I'm in Walmart, I'm in Target. My phone, it just, all the information is on my phone. So she thought enough to think, okay, I know my phone can be traced. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to wear a wig that can easily come off. So I'm going to leave the wig at the scene. I'm going to leave everything else except for the snacks. Now, make that make sense to me. The Cheezits and the granola bar. I'm going to get into that a little later about the man with the orange hair, because when I heard about the man with the orange hair hoisting her over her shoulder, that was really confirmation. At first, I'm like, the man with the orange hair. I thought Donald Trump took her. I'm like, what? It was just bizarre to me. Bizarre. So let's play the video of her mother. And I don't know if that's her biological father or not, but let's play this video. And I'm going to stop it so you all can see some things. All right, let's go.
The only thing that I can say to Carlee Russell right now is,
where's the video? That one.
So much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 4.
All right, so stop it right there.
48 hours.
Hold on, stop it right there. Let's see. How do you stop that? Stop it right there. It says she appeared on her doorstep. I told you everybody has cameras. Whether you have a vent, whether you have Ring, whether you have whatever, they see you walking up and down the street, okay? Most people have cameras on their front door. So it was reported, and I knew this was doubly confirmation, that she was just walking home. And I'm thinking, if I'm really kidnapped, seriously, if I'm really kidnapped, unless my legs are cut off and I am bleeding profusely, when I see the home where my mother lives, I'm not going to walk. I'm going to run as fast as I can. That was another one that was like, something's not right. Something's not right. But when I saw this interview and looking at body language, I knew definitely something was not right, but it was only alleged at that time because I did not have the cold, hard facts. I just knew in my gut that this was not right. It was not right. I'm like, and I did not promote her on my show. I didn't promote it on my show. However, I did a found safe on TikTok because, she was found safe. But then after that, I was like, you know what? Let me just let it go. I'm not going to promote anything at all. So let's continue with this video.
Saw her. We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state.
All right, look at his face. Throughout the entire interview, he's looking down. He's looking down. Now, if you know anything about body language, when you look down and you don't give eye contact and you repeatedly look down, that means basically you are ashamed or embarrassed about something that you have done and you've been found out. So I looked at his body language. He could not present full on with the news reporter. Now, if that were your child and you were talking to the news reporter and your child came home, you would be open in a sense. His body language is revealing that he's closed down. He's not looking to the right. He's not looking to the left. And I'll tell you about left and right looking. He's looking down, meaning that basically he doesn't want to be here. And I know that this is a hoax, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just going with the program. This was when I knew it was a hoax. All right, let's go. All right, let's play this. How do you play this?
So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's okay.
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle was unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated.
All right, you see how she said, I didn't know people could be so evil. So her head nod or shake is confirming with what she's saying verbally. She's saying, I just didn't know. I had no idea people could be so evil. So that's confirming what she's saying. All right, let's play it again.
Where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee,
look at the father. The dad, again, I don't know if that's her biological dad or not. I'm not certain, but it doesn't matter. He still, throughout this entire interview, has not looked up. His whole disposition is so downcast. And these are things that you have to look for. Body language is so important. I don't care what people say. Your body language speaks louder than your words. He's still downcast. And then a little later or back, when she was like, ambulance, he was like, yeah, ambulance. Like he just He just he's going along with the program. He's going along with his wife. His wife is taking the lead. And he's just like agreeing, but he knows truth at this point.
All right, wait. What do you think about her though? Like, what do you think about the mother? What do you think her position is?
The same thing, because I'm getting ready to show it right now. All right, hold on.
This is her statement, so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, you see that? She said absolutely. Absolutely, but she turned her head and said no. She said absolutely. And that I said up. I said, soon as I saw that, I said, this is a hoax. Did you see that, Curtis?
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached.
Right there. I said, oh, nope. She knew also that her daughter fabricated this whole entire thing. And at this point, she had to save face. She knew.
But do you think she knew beforehand or she knew afterhand?
I think she knew afterhand when the daughter came home.
Right. So she knew afterwards that it was a thing and all this stuff had been going on already. So she tried maybe her best to do whatever she could to help her daughter.
Right. But you saw the dad, he didn't want any parts of it.
Right. He didn't want to add on to nothing. He didn't
want to say, I don't want to be implicated in nothing. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't doing. So, again, body language. So that was, for me, that was, again, the nail in the coffin when I knew this whole thing was a hoax. I knew it was a hoax. So I knew when they put everything together that it was a hoax. She's 150 pounds. So a man abducted her, took off her wig, hoisted her over his shoulder, grabbed the Cheezits and the granola bar and went through the woods. I'm like, well, who was this man? And then she said he had orange hair. What?
Maybe she was trying to not really implicate anybody specific.
She was trying to implicate. Yes, she was trying to implicate Bozo.
Oh.
That or Donald Trump. I mean,
what? Because maybe she was like, if I give them some description of somebody that doesn't really exist, then they won't pick somebody else up or something. You know what I mean? Because that, who has orange hair? You know what I'm saying? Who has orange hair?
Donald Trump. I mean, I listen. But it's really interesting because we're going to talk about the why I think this happened. But I want you all to have some takeaways from this. Number one, what you do in the dark and then will be revealed. Number two, your body language. Body language speaks louder than your voice. You cannot escape the body language. That body language sealed the deal. And then also, wherever you go, there are cameras every single place. Those 5 cops in Memphis, they found out about cameras. Everything you do on your computer is being recorded. It cannot, in a sense, be really deleted or erased. It's there. Someone has a copy of it somewhere. Someone has a copy of it somewhere. So when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a word from our sponsor, the missing person, and then I'm going to announce the winner when we come right back. So stick with us in the Urban Suite. All right, so we are back with our missing person segment. And again, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when I come on live, I always do a missing person segment. I have been, this is a segment that is very near and dear to my heart. And who do we have tonight? We have Janiyah Duffy. Janiyah Duffy, she's been missing since July 19th, 2023, and she's missing from Lovejoy, Georgia. Listen, you folks from Lovejoy, Georgia. Lovejoy, Georgia. Why can't I? I've been in the South too long. I'm like, Georgia. She's been missing from Lovejoy, Georgia. She's 15 years old. Listen, 15 years old. This is the part where I need you all to share this information. I need you to like, I need you to share so you can get her picture out there. She's a female. Her race is Black. Her complexion is medium. Her height is 5'7". She's 140 pounds. Black hair color, shoulder length. Her eye color is brown. Janiyah was last seen in the 2100 block of Tranquility Loop in Lovejoy, Georgia. All right, the circumstances of her disappearance are unknown. However, the last time Janiyah was seen, she was wearing blue shorts with a design and a red jacket. Anyone with information, I need you to contact the Spalding County Sheriff's Office at area code 770-467-4282. Again, that number for my Spotify, my iHeartRadio, my Google Podcast, my Facebook Podcast, that number is 770-467-4282, or you can contact the Black and Missing Foundation Incorporation at 877-97-BAMFI. Again, that number is 877-97-BAMFI. So let's bring Janiyah Duffy home. All right, so last week I talked about the Essence Festival of Culture, and I talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how I met Dr. Bobby Peterson, and she is the inventor of the Big Mouth toothbrush. Well, we have a winner, and the winner that will receive the Big Mouth toothbrush, hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on for a second. I was so excited. Let's see. Where is it? It is Miss Rose H. Yay! Where's my hand clap? Let's see. Where's my hand clap? Let me see. Yes. Rose will receive the Big Mouth toothbrush. Thank you, Miss Rose, for tuning in. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You will receive your Big Mouth toothbrush. All right, so let's get back to business, talking about this situation. Now, people will wonder, turn the music down just a tad bit. People are wondering, like, why would someone do something like this? I don't need my glasses right now. Why would someone do something like this? So basically, think about it. This is a topic that I talk about all the time in the Urban Suite. That 4-letter word that begins with the letter F. And if you have a nasty gutter mind and a potty mouth, that's not that word. What is that 4-letter word that starts with the letter F?
Fear.
Fear. Let me tell you about fear. Man, oh man, oh man, that fear. We know, especially my urbanites, if you're new to this show, if you're new to this platform, I talk about fear all the time. Fear is a spirit. And I come from what the Bible says about fear. Fear is a spirit. And God did not give us the spirit of fear, but he gave us, instead of that spirit of fear, he gave us 3 things: power, love, and a sound mind. So let's break that down. Power, love, and a sound mind. So if fear is a spirit and he didn't give it to us, but he gave us power, let's look at the opposite word of power. What is the opposite word of power? It's very debilitating. In layman's terms, you are stuck. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a healthy fear and a negative fear. We're talking about negative fear. She was stuck in her mindset. She didn't know what to do because she feared, according to what reports, she feared being abandoned by her boyfriend. She feared rejection by her boyfriend. So what did she do? She came up with this story, this imaginative event. And in fear, I always say the opposite of love is hate. She hated something. She hated the idea of being rejected by him. She hated the idea of losing her boyfriend. She hated the idea. Play with it. Let's play with this whole scenario. And the last thing that fear will have you do is it will have you have a depraved mind. Remember, the word of God says fear is a spirit. He didn't give us the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. If you don't have a sound mind, you have a depraved mind. You have a perverted mind. In fear, there is hate. Also, in fear, you are stuck. And then oftentimes your insecurities is centered and grounded in fear. Now, some people may think, well, my gosh, what in the world? Again, this is Dr. Lisa speaking. This is my opinion. But women who are in relationships like this, and I'm gonna say this right here and now, they're typically in an abusive relationship. Typically in an abusive relationship, never let a man tell you twice he doesn't want you. That is correct. Typically, they're in an abusive relationship, and I'll talk about, the dynamics of this relationship that she was in, a man and a woman. And what happens is this man will find this woman that has low self-esteem, that is, book smart, and they start to abuse this woman either verbally, either physically, and the verbal abuse can come with a mental abuse as well. So it was definitely reported that her boyfriend was having affairs with other women and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. But she concocted this story so that he could feel sympathetic toward her, because she feared losing him to someone else. So what does your depraved mind do as a result of fear? You create this story because you know that you're losing him. It's premeditated. You even steal from your job and get fired from your job. I don't know if you have to pay any fines or not, but this is what fear will do. It will have you operating as a person who is perverted. At that point in time, you have a perverted mindset. When you claim, hold on, let's play this out. This is a perverted mindset. When you get on the phone and call, they said initially sister-in-law, but it was the brother's girlfriend, and you start to fake scream as if someone abducted you. That's perverted. And you know why that's perverted? Because the person on that other end has no idea about your story. And that person on the other end loves you. And that person on the other end of that phone really believes that you are being harmed, but you're not. You have your Cheezits and your granola bar just waiting for time to pass, not considering anyone else, not considering your mother, not considering your father, not considering the community, not considering anyone else except for you. It's all about you when it comes to fear. How am I going to relate without this person? How am I going to do? Me. It's all about me when it comes to fear. And why did she have to do this again? Okay, so if fear keeps you stuck, she was stuck in this relationship. And she wanted to remain stuck in this relationship. Probably because her self-esteem had been so battered and so bruised. Now, I cannot say if he physically, abused her or not. I cannot say that. I don't know. But typically, women that operate like this, there is a level of abuse in the relationship. So that's the aspect of her losing her power to say, you know what? I need to be set free from you. I need to go. But fear will have you remain, have you stuck. It's debilitating. And then what does she hate? The notion the idea, listen to this. This is fear is so the notion and the idea that she cannot live without that man in her life. That she would hate her life if that man were not in it. She would hate her life if he chose someone else over her. She would hate her life if he abandoned her. And then I already went through what the depraved mind is, depravity, what that looks like. And that looks like creating this story that a man with orange hair kidnapped you, and the only thing that he took, because your wig fell off, your phone, you left your car, the only thing that this kidnapper took, Cheezits and a granola bar, and they actually fed you the Cheezits and the granola bar. Now, make that make sense to me. How in the world are you going to lift up a person that's 150 pounds, and the only two things that you are carrying in your other, so it's like a sack of potatoes in this, and then carrying the Cheez-Its and the granola bar. So, it just, now, some people are asking, will this make a difference in how Black and missing? I really don't think so. I think this will blow over in a couple of weeks. I think, she may have to pay some fines. She may, they may press charges again. I don't know what's going to happen to her, but I will say this. I will say that I believe within 6 months, whatever, she'll go on with her life.
I think what's different too is that, these type of situations have happened before. It's just not usually with Black women, where people falsely report being kidnapped and stuff like that. But one thing I don't really remember from any of those other cases is where, like, a week later, the person is out, like, issuing an apology through their lawyer. You know what I mean? So we do have that as well from the police department, if you want to play that.
Well, you know what? It's sort of like now this is the upside of social media. With social media, because there was so much pressure from social media, that I believe that you cannot deny the evidence that it was premeditated. You can't deny it. It's just like those 5 cops in Memphis. They cannot say, I didn't kick Tyree. I didn't beat him up. I didn't assault him. They can't say it because the evidence is there. It's black and white. I think it would be like the boy who cried wolf. Black and brown people are already marginalized. This doesn't help. Well, you know what? It doesn't help. Absolutely, it doesn't help. However, people like myself, Black and Missing Foundation, Inc., we're still going to keep on putting it out there because there are a lot of people that go missing. And unfortunately, sometimes I have to report the sad news, and I hate reporting the sad news update. So it's up to us. It really is up to us. It's up to us, the grassroots level, because it was really that grassroots level that got this on mainstream. We cannot rely on the partygoers' mainstream news outlet. We cannot. We have to still promote. We have to still do this because this is my philosophy. I cannot let Satan defeat me in something that I have been ordained by God to do. And I know that I have been ordained by God to promote people that are missing. That's something that I have to do. And I'm not going to allow Satan, his minions, someone who is under the goddess of fear, to stop what I have to do. And if I put it out there, it's up to us, the grassroots, to keep the traction to it, to keep it going further and further through Instagram, through TikTok. We really don't, when you think about it, we really do not have to rely on mainstream media. We don't. If we share, if we like, if we promote within ourselves, and what will happen and come of that person, that's up to them, but we cannot stop. We have to keep on pressing forward, keep on keeping on, because as we know, so many of us are missing. So many of us are missing. So what I came around with, hold on for a second. What I came out with was basically, because this really started, I have to say, this movement really started via TikTok. And it just spread. It went, and I don't think she realized, and that's another thing. I don't think Carlethia, I don't think she realized that it was going to build momentum like this. She wasn't thinking. I really don't think she was thinking that. I think she thought that this was going to stay within Alabama and not reach the doorstep to people in California, the people in New Jersey, to people in Virginia, to people in Maryland. I really think she thought that this was going to be an isolated incident that was just going to stay within her cocoon in Alabama. So let's look at the press conference.
Here today to provide an update in the Carlee Russell investigation. Chief Nick Durzis will read a prepared statement that will provide an update in this case. After reading the statement, we will have time for a few questions related to the case. Keep in mind, this is still an ongoing investigation, and there are some questions we simply cannot answer at this point. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Durzis.
Thank you, Captain.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone for attending again today. I want to thank the members of our department and all of law enforcement who played a role in the investigation of this case. Last Wednesday, July 19th, we held a press conference and provided you with the facts of the Carlee Russell disappearance. We told you the investigation was ongoing, and we helped you determine where Carlee was during the 49 hours of her disappearance. Today I've talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement entirely, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone during the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to further discuss this case. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed.
All right, with that, we'll take a few questions.
Yep. So, they may press charges. They may press charges. I don't believe she really thought about the consequences of what she did. I don't think so either. Like I said, I think she thought it was just going to stay within the little Alabama community. But that's the power of social media. It's the power of social media. Once you put it out there in social media and someone runs with it, and initially it sounded somewhat believable in a sense, because there are some, like I said, there are a lot of perverts out there that will do anything to try to ambush women, try to ambush drivers or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh. But again, as the story started to go on and I saw the body language of the parents and then the things that she stated, it just didn't make sense. It just did not make sense. And then someone says, let's see, fear. Yeah, fear is powerful. Fear is something, I'm telling you, fear, think of at least 2 things that you fear. 2 things that you fear. It doesn't have to be anything deep. It doesn't have to be, whatever. It could be very surface. I will share what I fear. This is one fear of mine. So when we go to Jamaica, we go to Rick's Cafe, and then there's this cliff that you jump off. I fear jumping off that cliff. So what happens as a result when I go? I look at the cliff and I'm stuck. And you know what it is that I hate? I hate the feeling of my body, the pressure of hitting the water. Like, I don't like that feeling. But then this is my depraved mind. I don't know how it would feel because I've never done it. I don't.
I mean, that's okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to jump off of no cliff.
Right, but that's just an example. People jump off the cliff all the time, like it's an amusement attraction.
That's all right. They can do that. Let them do that.
But that's what I'm saying. When you look at the elements of fear, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything deep. But it has those 3 criteria for fear, for a negative fear.
I don't think that one was negative though. Not jumping off a cliff ain't negative.
Well, no, it is for me because it's something that I would like to do. It's something that I would like to do, but I'm afraid.
That's your common sense kicking in.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people do it, and no one that I know of dies from it. They have a smaller cliff and a high cliff. It is what it is. But those are just the elements of fear. Just
like you want to go skydiving too.
I want to go skydiving, but there's an element of fear, especially when I saw. I saw this woman who went skydiving, and it was tandem, meaning that the man, was about
on the
back. Their parachute couldn't open.
Yeah.
And they landed without a parachute. And she survived because he turned his body around and he took the brunt of the fall. But I was like, oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
No. But see, but guess what? The probability of that is so low. But because in my mind, I think about that, that means I'm stuck here not doing it. I'm stuck not doing it because I would hate falling without a parachute.
That's common sense.
Right. And then it's like the thoughts that come through my mind, it's like my son even went skydiving, but the thoughts that come through my mind, oh my gosh, my parachute's not going to open. I'm going to have the tandem, the same experience as that woman. I'm going to do. So I have these thoughts that come through my mind.
I think I think those are justified in those 2 particular instances. If it was something simple, like, I don't know, fear of elevators or something like that, then that would make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Because like an elevator can't hurt you. But
yes. People do get stuck on elevators.
And claustrophobia and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So that's what. So that's a perfect example in the elevator. So say for instance, if you're fearful about elevators, some people are fearful of elevators. They're fearful of the space because it's a small space. They're fearful of being on the elevator with people because they may assume that people have a lot of germs. They may assume that the elevator is going to get stuck. So what do? When it comes to the elevator, they may freeze to hit the button. They're stuck, and they hate the idea of being stuck on the elevator. They hate the idea of being on the elevator with a lot of people. And then at the same time, they're thinking about the consequences of getting on that elevator. And at that point in time, your mind is not sound, because it may not happen, and it probably won't happen. The probability of that elevator being stuck is so low. It's so low. But in our minds, we think, oh my gosh, I get on this elevator, it's going to stop. I'm going to get on this elevator and be stuck with someone I don't like, with someone who's going to be out of control, and no one will be able to rescue us. And I'll be on this elevator for 10 hours. I mean, see how the mind, it's just the same thing. So with her, it's like, oh my gosh, I won't be able to live without this guy. Oh my goodness, this guy is seeing this other woman. This guy's having an affair. Oh my gosh, I'm being rejected. I'm being abandoned. Oh my God, what are they doing? How can I remedy this situation?
Here, Marjani has a comment. She might have to explain this a little bit. See if you know what this means.
Let's see. I'm not her clinician. However, something has to be aloof in the mind to do all of that. Absolutely. Like I said, it really is. It was premeditated. But that's where you would go. Now, I hope she does see a therapist, because typically people don't go to that extreme to do that. But it depends. If she was in an extremely toxic relationship, she may do that. And that's what toxicity and being in a negative relationship will do. Now, this is my thing. Listen, ladies. Listen. I want y'all to listen. This is something I got to say. Listen. Yeah, it was. It was so extreme. Very extreme. So she was going to school to become a nurse. Now, not for nothing. Now, I see a lot of nurses when I go to the hospital or whatever, and a lot of nurses look very young. Now, there's always this. Now, maybe you can attest to this, Curtis. I don't know. But isn't there the probability of nurses having relations with doctors and at some point in time, perhaps, hooking up with a professional man that's a doctor? I'm like, wait a minute. But when your self-esteem is so low, you don't think about the good qualities that you possess. You're always focused on the negative. I don't have this. I don't possess this. I'm not good enough. Rather than changing your mindset to think about what you are good at. I'm good at doing this. I love myself. I don't deserve this. I'm better than this. Blah, blah. It's all in the mind. Every single thing is in the mind. And it's about the decisions that we make. She decided to go along with this. She decided to call 911. She decided to go to Target to get Cheezits, to get a granola bar. She made a decision. And this is my opinion. Her decisions that she made, the foundation of it is fear. Fear is a powerful thing. I'm telling you that people really overlook that spirit of fear. And it is it's very debilitating. And fear is something that you hate. And you definitely do not have a sound mind. You can't, talking about negative fear, when you operate in fear, You do not have a sound mind. You have no peace. She did not have peace. When she was creating this whole story, she did not have peace. She did not have peace about herself. She did not have peace about her environment. She did not have peace about anything.
Could you just plug the bear effect real quick?
Yes. So this is the bear effect. Your beliefs expected as reality. BEAR, bear effect. And this bear effect is based on 3 different data points. 1, historical data, 2, witnessed data, and 3, hearsay data. And I talk about the bear effect because oftentimes anxiety is triggered by the bear effect. Something that has personally happened to us. Like for me, I was attacked by dogs. So for the longest time, I had a fear of dogs. So that's the historical data. Something happened to me personally. And then what did I do? I went through life believing that all dogs were going to attack me because at a young age, I was attacked by 2 dogs at the same time. Witness data is, say for instance, if someone were there with me and the dogs did not attack them, but they witnessed the dogs attacking me, now they may have a sense of anxiety about dogs because of what they witnessed. And then hearsay is basically if I got my information from the newspaper, some type of news outlet, and I heard or read little Lisa was mauled by a pit bull. So guess what? Now I'm going to have a fear of pit bulls. So every time I see a pit bull, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to back away. I'm going to back away. I'm not going to embrace that pit bull. I'm not going to do anything. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say in my mind, I hate pit bulls because in my mind, I see a pit bull attacking me, tearing me apart limb by limb. But in actuality, the pit bull may be the sweetest dog ever, but I wouldn't be able to know that because of my fear that I have based on the historical data, the witnessed data, or the hearsay data. So, I'm telling you, what else is out here? So Nas said, why fear? It's freedom. So because it's a spirit. It's a spirit. So say, for instance, oftentimes when it comes to dealing with the spirit, you're kind of possessed and you're programmed. You just can't snap out of it. It takes a process. Ask any women who have been in an abusive relationship. It is a process to get out of that relationship, because one of the things that you think about is, what am I going to do without this person, whether it's without their finances? What am I going to do? Do I have to start my life and build my life all over again? So these are the thoughts that happen. So it's not just, okay, just snap out of it and run to freedom land. No, it's a spirit. And with that spirit comes a mindset that you have to unprogram, in a sense. You have to deprogram your mind. I'm telling you, it's something else. It's a lot. It's a lot. What else are you all saying? So what's happening? Majani's here, Miss Cooper, Antoinette Rogers. How are you all doing? Let's see. So yeah, I'm telling you, it's something else. So Curtis, what are your thoughts about this? My granddaughter was bitten in the face by a pit bull. She is now 5. She loves my pit bull. No fear. She has scars. No, absolutely. Because guess what you did? You introduced her slowly but surely to the pit bull. And that was a process. It was a process. And oftentimes when we are confronted with fear, there is a therapeutic way of dealing with it. You can slowly but surely invite that object in so that the person can get used to it. So then, guess what? Over time, the fear is gone. So, yeah, it's something else. All right, Curtis, what are your thoughts about this?
I mean, you covered everything pretty well, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. My goodness, I'm telling you. So, listen, please, my urbanites, my urban community, don't stop sharing the missing person. We cannot be defeated because of this. We have to pray for her. We have to pray for her well being. She's a young lady that I believe has very low self esteem. She really needs to see a therapist at this time. She needs to focus on her mental health because she is not operating with a sound mind at all. But also, I told you about body language. You can read people from across the room based on what they're saying with their body, whether it's their facial expressions, their eye movement. And I was telling you that sometimes when people look to the left or the right, now, when you're talking with someone and they may look up to the right, they're recalling. Right. So say for instance, you're like, how was your day? What did you do last week? They may like, oh, I did so and so, so. That's just typically what happens. Now, sometimes if they look to the left, they're not recalling. They may be just making something up, grasping from straws and grasping, but these are little things that, so yeah, I do I feel bad for her? Yes. That hat is fabulous. You look, oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's my Hampton University hat. Yay. Go Pirates. Look. So listen, how do you feel? I don't know. What do you?
I feel sorry for her, and I kind of feel bad for the parents too because they probably are trying to do their best to like salvage anything they can from the situation and make things as positive they can for the daughter. I don't think that they should press charges on her, like criminal charges or anything like that. I think they should just give her maybe like probation and make her seek mental health treatment. Like that should be her sentence. You know what I mean? Like you got to get mental health treatment and something like that. And I feel like she quickly came out with the apology and stuff. They didn't drag it out. A lot of these other cases, they'll be dragged out and person doesn't even say anything. Mm-hmm. And, not to mention the fact that not too long ago was the anniversary of the death of Emmett Till. And that lady died at 88 years old and she wasn't really trying to admit nothing that she ever did wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like there's stuff where people actually get harmed. And in this particular situation, I don't think anybody actually got harmed from it. So that, I feel like they could go light on her, but just make her get mental health treatment.
Yeah, and I think they're going to probably give her a fine. Because
because people looked for her.
Yes, that stuff costs money. So they probably will. So we'll see. And then
Naz out here being mean. Naz out here being mean.
What was she saying? Oh, see, I know. See. That's awful.
she like suck it up.
Right, suck it up, Buttercup.
Right, suck it up, Buttercup.
I think she will suffer the consequences. Like I said, she was fired from her job.
Yeah, socially, everything. I mean, who's ever going to trust her? Like,
right. Like I said, I wouldn't want her to be my nurse. Yes. And I don't even know what's going to happen with the nursing school now as a result of this. I don't know. But I do have an update about the 5 Memphis cops. So they go to trial, I believe, August the 18th. So I will pop in to talk about that because I talked about that a long time ago about the Sky Cam, the 5 cops.
Sky Cop. Mm-hmm. Sky Cop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Sky Cop. Yes, that was something else. So anyway, my urbanites, you know what? I said I wasn't going to be on here long, but this case, there's just so much to discuss and dissect with this whole thing and talking about fear and spirit and mental health issues and the things that we have to address in our community toxic relationships, insecurities. I mean, it's just, we just have to pray and, but I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I need you to share. I need you to like. I need you to subscribe to the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. Thank you for coming in. We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on your new YouTube network, LinkedIn, Facebook, and many other multiple platforms. So again, thank you. So this is where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. And on that note, Molly, take us away.